yeah, there's even more sound bites here of me on this. I just had to break it up. I mean, it's over half the soundbite roster today. Let's go back to it. This is Fox and Friends today. Co-host Ainsley Earhart is introducing and playing a clip of me and asking other guests to comment on it. Here's how it began.
Rush Limbaugh was talking about it, and he says that Republicans have been waiting on this type of talk, an honest approach for a very long time. Listen.
How many years have people been begging for a Republican to just once take on the media the way Trump did? All the way from the premise to the details, to the motivation. Near the end of it, a frustrated journalist. Mr. Trump, is it going to be this way? Is it going to be this way? Are you going to be attacking us after you become president? People at home watch this. Because, folks, in the age of internet trolling, manners are out the window. It's a waste of time asking for manners here. You get my point on this, by the way. I'm not. It's in certain sectors with certain people. I'm saying what Trump is doing just is fabulous. It's just fabulous. This is the way people behave now. Most of them that do it are anonymous or at least protected because it's, not face to face on the internet. But Trump, I mean, he's out there face to face with this. Now, Ainsley Earhart's guest was Pete Hegseth, Concerned Veterans of America CEO Pete Hegseth. By the way, Pete has a great new book out. Came out earlier this month, in May. Hegseth. I don't have a title of book right in front, but I'll get it. But it's fascinating. He's a vet. He's an all-around guy, if you will. And he has his appearances on Fox. And Ainsley went to him to react to some of this.
Right before we went on set, Pete and I were talking about, why is it that America loves Trump so much? Why is it that America wants this? And you were saying that long gone are the days where
in the age of Twitter and things like that, that game has changed a lot. There's also so much angst and frustration about the process. They see press secretaries and presidents talking to the press, and it's all kind of this fake, shallow conversation. Mm-hmm. Everyone's bending the truth, and he's saying, I'm done with it. I'm coming after you.
So that's exactly right. Just being presidential stuff, nobody believes it anymore. It's BS. It's perceived as BS. Press secretary goes out, answers questions. Nobody in the world thinks that the questions are actually being answered. Every question is an opportunity for presidential spin. It's not just tied to Obama. It's the whole system. People don't think. We've reached a point in our country, and it's serious. Leaders are not trusted. They're suspected now. And one of the reasons is economics. Look, folks, people are not blind. How is it? I saw this example the other day. How is it? Poor Denny Hastert. Denny Hastert was a coach and a teacher at high school. And then he ends up in Congress. And after so many years in Congress, on a congressional salary that's probably averaged to be $160,000 a year, if you average all 20 years, how does a guy like that end up with enough money to pay a multi-million-dollar settlement in a lawsuit? Harry Reid, who had nothing when he gets elected to the Senate, is now a multi-millionaire real estate baron. He owns land all over Nevada and in California. And his sons at the same time. He lives, or did, in a fashionable 10,000 square foot apartment, I think at a Ritz hotel in Washington. How does a guy on a Senate salary do this? And while all of this is happening, and those are just two of many examples of public figures in elected office becoming multimillionaires in ways that are impossible on what they're earning, while the American middle class income has remained stagnant for 15 years. I interviewed Jeff Sessions yesterday for the next issue of the Limbaugh letter, and we were talking about how the issues of trade and trade deals, how everybody in Washington missed that. The Trump campaign comes along, and it turns out that it's a seminal top 5 issue for Trump people. And yet everybody in Washington missed it. They missed the angst over immigration until they didn't. They caught up with that about 2007. But on trade, they had no idea that there was so much anger and angst and upset They had no idea that all of the jobs that have been lost and transferred out of the country, they thought people, I guess, had just adjusted to it and moved on because where they live, everything's fine economically. And so this divide that exists between the governed and the elected is deeper and wider than it's ever been. And it doesn't matter where people smart, dumb, ignorant, they can see. And they can see that things don't make sense. And so all of this is understandable if you have the ability to unplug yourself from the ages-old playbook and formula of politics and try to examine all these new elements out there that contribute to this new era. Pete Hegseth's book is called In the Arena. And, of course, I, as a powerful, influential member of the media, had an advance copy. And I sometimes share with you things that I'm reading. Goes in spurts, but that's a good one. And Pete's a good guy. He popped up on Fox News and said, who is this guy? And now he's everywhere on Fox News. And he runs a Veterans Foundation and some other things. He is a vet. But it's called In the Arena. Greetings and welcome back. Rush Limbaugh at 800-282-2882. If you want to be on the program, the email address, lrushbo@eibnet.com.